All right, let's talk about this Alasia Banks thing. So as a lot of you know, I am a Satanist motherfucker, and that means that I have a particular love of magical rituals, esoteric knowledge, and a kind of strange, contradictory belief in the nature of magic. I believe that the language of magic is the language of meaning and of the human soul. I don't believe that it is more powerful than science. I feel like it is a part of the human experience that we don't really have a logical, rational connection to. I think it's something a little bit stranger, a little weirder, but it's something that is part of humanity and part of the human experience. I could go on at length about this. I could go on at length about the nature, the relationship between alchemy and chemistry. But, you know, basically what it comes down to is just because I believe in some of this shit doesn't mean that I don't think science is usually right. You know, obviously science is usually right when it is talking about things that it talks about. Yeah, but when we're talking about matters of human meaning or even of the psychology of the mind itself, gets a little weirder, gets a little stranger, you know? We see meaning before we see anything else, you know, and there's a reason we do that. But, you know, I could go on forever about that shit. Let's actually get into what the video is supposed to be about, which is Alasia Banks. Now, for those of you who don't know, Alasia Banks is a recording artist slash model, and as it turns out, witch. Like, straight up witch. And a video of her cleaning out her old ritual room, and it's just her cleaning up the fucking feathers and crap from 3 years worth of chicken sacrifices, because the brand of witchcraft that she practices is Santeria. She is a brujeria. And I think I'm getting that right. You know, I'm pretty sure the bruja is the male and the brujeria is the female. I should probably check on that. Okay, I looked it up, and it turns out that, like, brujeria actually is the word for witchcraft itself. The practitioners are bruja and brujo. Brujo is the male practitioner, whereas the bruja is the female. You know, makes sense. That's O's and Ah's. That's a Spanish thing. I personally dealt much more with voodoo and the Golden Dawn and chaos magic and shit like that. You know, but I've always been really, really, really fascinated and had a great respect for Santeria, because that like voodoo is another magical tradition that is very, very much with us today in the modern world and is very alive. You know, there are a lot of people who practice it or are worshipers. For example, the comedian Joey Diaz, he practices Santeria, you know, and it like voodoo kind of exists in tandem with Catholicism. It's really odd. I recommend checking it out just to know the history of the faith and the belief system and the rituals and the symbols themselves. It's really fascinating stuff. But I've always been a spectator as far as Santeria was concerned. It's never been something I've been super involved in. But obviously, Alasia Banks went all the way with it. And what I think is really funny, like, Twitter shut her account down because, you know, animal cruelty. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to show you the video. I'm not going to show you the clips because, I mean, hey, if they fucking took it down, I don't want them taking this video down. Here's all it really is, which is it's just her cleaning up the encrusted leavings. And it's not as disgusting as you would think. But the meaning of what that crap is really disgusted and upset people, because they're like, animal cruelty. And I'm like, well, maybe, but if we're gonna get mad at her for that type of animal cruelty, we also have to get mad at Kentucky Fried Chicken, because we're talking about chickens. You know, we're not talking about cats, we're not talking about dogs, we're not even talking about fucking hamsters or rats. We are talking about fucking chickens. We kill so many fucking chickens a day to fucking eat them. I'm probably going to eat some a little bit later today. You probably are as well. That I think it's absolutely fucking hilarious that people would be offended at what essentially amounts to a slaughterhouse cleaning. I could see why that would upset you personally, but I don't find that offensive. And it's not animal cruelty because she's not fucking showing you her killing the chicken for your entertainment. Ironically, if she has, it probably would have come under religious freedom. You know, and there's a big question that you gotta ask yourself. Is like, well, wait a minute, like, that's actually a religious practice. It has huge amounts of meaning for Santeria to be able to do this kind of thing. Do all branches do it? No, not all of them, but there are some that do, and those are considered to be legitimate. You know, the sacrificing of the chicken, particularly like the black rooster, like that's something that Santeria and voodoo have in common. You know, so what are you gonna do? At that point, you also gotta get mad for every fucking little old Asian grandmother that buys a live chicken to fucking kill for fucking dinner. Yeah, you live on a farm, you've killed a fucking chicken! You know, like, it's ridiculous. It's a lot of people are disgusted, but I'm like, no. Like, this person that I only had a passing interest in before is a fucking magician? They're a sorceress? Oh, man, no. Now I'm fascinated. Now I want to hear her story. Now I want to know. I want to know how she came into this. I want to know her earliest experiences with it. Was she born into it? Did she convert into it? Most people into Santeria are born into it. Whichever way that story went, I fucking want to know it because that's fascinating. Because that's where people live. That's where people thrive. That's what makes a person and its craziness. And I know a lot of people are just gonna be like, yeah, but they're killing chickens. And I'm saying we fucking kill chickens every day. Fucking get over it. Plus, like I said, there's really nothing in this video that is gross except for the fact that you know how that happened. Like I said before, the meaning. People get meaning before they get anything else. They understand. You say witchcraft and then all of a sudden you're cleaning up like encrusted shit that's got feathers in it. You know what that fucking means. She didn't even have to say it. She didn't even have to fucking say it. You knew it. And I think it's kind of fucked up that the video got banned. But of course, it's fucking internet, so you can goddamn find it. Fucking, you know, Alazia Banks sacrificial room video. Bam. No, look for it. I'll put a link in the description below. I just can't put that part of the video in the video itself, which makes me a little sad, you know? But, man, you know, hey, man. It's like Satan and having to get your signature on that goddamn contract, man. That red tape. It'll fucking kill you.